Alrighty, well, behind me, I don't know if you can see in the rear view mirror there, a lot of equipment, quite a bloody lot. Probably $2 million worth of heavy equipment there, all stuff for fixing the railway lines, or doing something to the railway lines. Believe it or not, you could fuel most of that stuff with that right there. That right there, I should start driving and show you how big all this is, because this goes for a long way. That right there is canola. It's an oilseed. It's a brassica. In China, they have what's known as edible rape. That's not when... Never mind, I won't go there. But it used to be called rape. And the name, well, wasn't very good. So they started calling it canola. And this is a brassica. And considering that you have edible rape / canola in China, I am pretty certain you could just eat the leaves off this shit, and I've been tempted to jump people's fences and grab some and try and cook it up. Although I probably shouldn't. Yeah. You get little seeds much the same as you do when a broccoli goes to seed. And I think it's cut first, and then they let it dry for a week, and then it sort of gets re-picked up or something like that. But it's a really good oil seed that was specifically developed. This is just a bit of, who knows, a bit of wheat or something. It was specifically developed not to have cholesterol. And supporting local industry, and the fact that it is almost completely tasteless and doesn't really, affect the taste of your frying, unlike olive oil will, I tend to buy it mainly because of the taste. We got over here. Oh, holy smoke! That's peas. That I'm pretty certain is real Ridgy-Didge peas. Possibly for pea straw, very high protein food for sheep, and the peas that come out of that I've, well, ate a few. And they actually don't taste that bad. I better get moving, somewhere beyond me. That is a pretty significant canola crop, but if I go up further, yeah, it's probably a mile deep. There's another one up further that's about a mile deeper. Too far up here. Yeah, some of this here is just wheat crop. There's quite a lot of wheat and barley, but this area also does pea straw, as you've seen before, which is sort of pretty high priced, really, comparative to normal straw. Here we go here. Great big canola crop. I'll pull over in here somewhere. Yeah, I'll do. What happens is they go yellow, but then they sort of lose all the yellow. This one has got a little bit less than the other paddock. And basically what's happening is it's all going to seed. It's going to broccoli heads, which then, of course, go to your seed. Get out and have a look. Now, I videoed this before, but the wind was terrible. But yeah, all you got to do is, once these go to seed, is get the seeds and crush them. And the oil comes out, and so long as it's well filtered, you can just whack it straight in the tank. You don't need to worry about the acid procedure, then the base procedure for making biodiesel. You can literally just slap it in the tank, as is, stuff all the fan dangles and playing around with it. I've seen Mercedes from the mid-80s run absolutely perfectly. From that, I've seen actual
several different ones. You know, people, these are usually people online and whatnot who have old Mercedes diesel because it's one of the easily gettable diesels. Well, one of the easily available passenger cars that come in diesel earlier on was generally the Mercedes. Yeah, there's a guy in Western Australia who has a pretty big paddock. The other one probably only 2/3 of a mile deep, come to look at it, but this one here is over a mile deep. Easily a mile, probably more. There's a guy in Western Australia who does a lot of cropping, and he has literally got rid of his diesel bill. He had 1 or 2 big tractors. He replaced those with 3 or 4 smaller ones that were biodiesel compatible engines, and then he bought a light truck that he drives around that's also biodiesel compatible engine, and he completely wiped out his fuel bill. Now, even if you just look at having to pay income, well, he doesn't have to pay income tax because of the business expense, but the fuel tax in this country is around 67%, and that gives you a price of fuel with your fuel tax. And then on top of the fuel tax and the cost, the money that goes to the oil company, they whack another 10% GST on top of that. And you can get that off if you've got a business, but if you look at it all, by the time you pay anything from 35 to 55% income tax, then a 66% fuel tax, and then a 10% GST on top of that, you're lucky if 1/5 of your money actually buys the fuel that you're getting. Really, you're getting 20 cents on the dollar worth of actual fuel. And if you can do it this way successfully, especially if you have land, as I do, then you may be really onto a winner. The other thing is a lot of this stuff, farmers get paid jack shit worth of fuck all for a lot of things, and I could probably buy this stuff wholesale often without having to do anything, just so long as I had a press and a bunch of filters, and I don't see why I couldn't use a diesel pump out of a truck and a few truck fuel filters, to be quite honest. But anyway, there we go.